Oh, Ubisoft, you absolute morons. You aren't even trying to give the illusion that you respect, care about, or otherwise have your customers' best interests at heart. Announcing Far Cry 6 DLC ahead of the game itself launching has got to be the biggest middle finger to the folks lining your paychecks, buying your houses, and feeding your families that I have ever seen. I mean, talk about greedy, scummy, sleazeball motherfucker moves. These people are legitimately spitting in your face. I mean, how low can you stoop? This is like announcing that the movie you just released ends on a cliffhanger and you're gonna have to pay to see the sequel. See, nobody argues, at least in most cases, against sequels, but they're never announced ahead of time, except in extreme cases like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. But we have a company here who thinks they have balls big enough to not only demand money at launch of their sixth sequel in a series that should have been shot in the head, killed, taken out back, and buried 30 feet deep at least a decade ago, but they have the gall. They are looking you dead in the eye and demanding more money for DLC. Now, most companies, don't look any further than EA and BioWare, don't even announce a DLC plan until after the fucking game comes out. Remember Mass Effect Andromeda? They canceled the DLC because the game underperformed. Yet here we have Far Cry 6 and Ubisoft in one of their scummiest moves I've ever seen, touting their Become the Villain DLC months, literally half a year ahead of when this game fucking launches. My God, I don't even know. I feel sick to my stomach. I legitimately feel like I'm going to throw up. There are acts of capitalistic corporate greed, and then there is this. There are companies out here, absolute scummy companies. All right? Companies that have disrespected their audience up and down that don't pull shit like this. EA was voted the most hated company in America, but they aren't pulling shit like this. Matter of fact, EA have had kind of a face turn. They've done a little bit of a 180. It seems like Ubisoft sees fit to assume the role of most hated corporation in America, and they're wearing that moniker proudly. It's a badge of honor for them. That's all the Far Cry 6 DLC announcement is. It's a badge of honor, them touting that they don't give a fuck about you, your money, or your cents. They give a fuck about lining their own bottom lines and paying for their fat ass rich bosses getting additional vacations on your dollar. Don't support this trash, people. You're better than that. I know you're better than that. And even if you don't think that you're better than that, this DLC looks fucking horrible. Play as the villains. Talk about the creativity well being run dry. Talk about sucking at a faucet that is completely well and empty. Talking about being in a creative drought that's drier than the fucking Sahara Desert. Play as the villains from past Far Cry games. That is legitimately saying that we are so drained of creativity that we don't even have faith in Far Cry 6 anymore. We're going to bring back all the fan favorites from the older games because we can't be asked to come up with new ones. What happened to your writers? Did you scale back the budget, Ubisoft? Did you arbitrarily decide that that's where you're going to save money and that's where you're going to milk people? Is the actual story and the writing and the creative decisions DLC now? What the fuck happened to you? Why are you charging people, asking them to pay for DLC ahead of time? Scummy motherfuckers, I swear to God. And it'll never change. It'll never change because people are going to see Voss and they're going to remember that 9 years ago he was the cool, badass villain because he constantly showed up and acted like a crazy person and he talked in riddles, preying on people's weakness for nostalgia. Just another nail in the coffin of Ubisoft. This Ubisoft Forward was not an unveiling of new games. It was an unveiling of embarrassment and complete out of touch decision making between their corporate led structure and the end user. I legitimately need to step away from my microphone right now. I'm going to be sick. I'm going to go throw up because this business practice has made me physically violently ill. I cannot stand corporations standing atop the mountain looking down like a god to the peasants below asking for more. Ubisoft, you are a complete joke. Your forward was a joke, and anybody who buys this DLC is a joke. Voss, play as the villains, Far Cry 6 DLC. Why don't you try launching a competent, unique, and original product in the year 2021 before we even talk about DLC? You're inserting fucking monsters in Rainbow Six Siege. You've literally got zombies infesting Watch Dogs Legion. Ubisoft, you just can't get it done anymore. What a complete fucking clusterfuck.